Something breaks in your house. A door hinge, a leaky faucet, a piece of furniture that's coming apart. While everyone else is reaching for their phone to call someone or order a replacement, you're already grabbing tools. You're on the floor figuring it out, taking it apart, seeing how it works. Within an hour, it's fixed. Not maybe, but it works. There's this quiet satisfaction that comes with that. No one throws you a parade. You know you did it. You solved it. With your hands. You fixed it. Here's what psychologists are starting to understand. If you're someone who can fix things with your hands, your brain isn't just good at tasks. You have a type of intelligence, a way of seeing the world, a set of psychological traits that reveal something profound about how you think, how you cope, how you move through life. You're good at fixing things. Let me explain what's really going on. First, there's the psychology of intelligence. Howard Gardner's theory of intelligences identifies bodily kinesthetic intelligence as one of the core ways humans process and interact with the world. If you can fix things with your hands, you have spatial reasoning, an intuitive understanding of how physical systems work. You're good at fixing things. You see how things connect. You understand cause and effect in a three-dimensional way. That translates into how you solve problems. In every area of your life, you fix things. When something breaks, most people see a problem. You see a puzzle. Puzzles don't intimidate you. They engage you. Psychologically, this reveals something: you have a high tolerance for ambiguity, a natural comfort with trial and error. You don't need all the answers before you start. You're willing to take something, see what's wrong, make an educated guess, adjust as you go. You're fixing things. That brings us to self-reliance. If you grew up fixing things, especially if you're Gen X or older, you came of age in a world where fixing things was what you did. You didn't have YouTube tutorials. You didn't have same-day delivery of replacement parts. If something broke, you figured it out, or you lived without it. So you learned, you watched, you tried, you failed, you tried again. Eventually, you got good at it. You're good at fixing things. Dr. Albert Bandura's research on self-efficacy shows that people who believe in their ability to affect outcomes through their actions have higher resilience, lower anxiety, greater life satisfaction. Every time you fix something with your hands, you reinforce that belief. You prove to yourself again that you can handle what life throws at you. You're fixing things. There's also something therapeutic about hands-on work. When you're fixing something, you're forced into the moment. You can't be spiraling about the past or anxious about the future when you're trying to figure out why a motor isn't running or how to reattach a hinge. Your brain enters a state psychologists call flow, complete absorption in a task that's challenging but achievable. In that state, your stress hormones drop, your mind quiets, you're problem solving. Yes, you're also regulating your emotions without even realizing it. You're fixing things. This is especially true for people who struggle with overthinking or anxiety. If your mind runs constantly, if you're someone who processes everything internally, working with your hands gives you an outlet. It externalizes the problem of spinning thoughts in your head. You're manipulating physical objects. You're seeing feedback. You try something. It works. It doesn't. You adjust. There's clarity in that. There's relief in that. You're not stuck in worry. You're engaged in action. You're fixing things. Let me give you a lens here because I think this matters. If you're Gen X or older, you grew up in a disposable culture. Things were made to last. When they broke, you fixed them. Your parents or grandparents knew how to do repairs because that's just what people did. There wasn't an assumption that everything was replaceable or that expertise always had to come from outside. You learned by doing. You learned because you had to. That created a generation of people who don't panic when something breaks. You assess, you tinker, you figure it out, you fix things. Contrast that with generations who grew up in a world of planned obsolescence and instant replacement. When something breaks, the default is to buy one or call a professional. I'm not saying that's wrong. What's been lost is that psychological relationship with objects, with systems, with the belief that you can understand how things work and intervene when they don't. If you still have that relationship, if you still reach for the toolbox before you reach for your wallet, You're carrying a mindset that's increasingly rare. It's valuable. You're fixing things. Here's another layer. People who fix things tend to have a relationship with failure. When you're troubleshooting a problem, failure isn't final. It's information. You try something, it doesn't work, so you try something else. You don't take it personally. You don't catastrophize. You just keep going until you find the solution. Psychologically, that's resilience. That's grit. That's the ability to persist through setbacks without losing faith in the process or in yourself. You're fixing things. Research on growth mindset pioneered by Dr. Carol Dweck shows that people who see challenges as opportunities to learn than threats to their competence are more adaptable, more persistent, more successful in the long run. If you've spent years fixing things, you've internalized that mindset. You've trained your brain to see obstacles as solvable, not easy, necessarily, not always quick, solvable. You're fixing things. There's also the satisfaction of creating value with your hands. In a world that's increasingly digital, increasingly abstract, there's something deeply grounding about taking a broken thing and making it work again. You can see it, you can touch it, you created a result. That matters more than people realize. Studies on meaning and purpose show that people feel most fulfilled when they can see the impact of their efforts. When you fix something, the impact is immediate and undeniable. The door closes, the water stops leaking, the machine runs. You did that. Your brain rewards you for it. You're fixing things. Here's what I want you to sit with. If you're someone who can fix anything with your hands, you're not just handy. You're demonstrating a set of psychological strengths that extend far beyond mechanics. You're someone who thinks in systems, who tolerates ambiguity, who persists through trial and error, who believes in your capability, who finds calm in work, who sees failure as information, not identity, who creates tangible value in a world that often feels intangible. You're fixing things. Those aren't things. Those are the traits that get people through times. Those are the traits that build resilience. Self-efficacy, a quiet confidence that doesn't need external validation because you know what you can do. You've proven it to yourself 1,000 times, one repair at a time. You're fixing things. So the time someone asks you to fix something and you instinctively say yes, the next time something breaks and you automatically start troubleshooting, recognize what's happening. You're not just fixing an object. You're exercising a way of thinking. You're reinforcing a strength. You're living out a belief that problem's solvable, that you are capable, that you don't need to wait for someone else to make things right. You're fixing things. If this resonated with you, if you're someone who reaches for the toolbox before the phone, I want you to know that's not a skill. That's a mindset. It says something powerful about who you are. You're fixing things.